Good morning, everybody. Happy days. Inflation getting a little better, but all right. So prices are gapping up to the prior reversal high, and I got this marked up here. I can about it further, but I was surprised in SPY to see the large open interest of bets and calls at 460 and 462. I would say they're going to expire worthless. I didn't see what they're, if they have a bid or ask or whatever. I think that's zeroed out now, but very optimistic option traders out there. There's some at 440 and 442 that I mean, if I own them, I'd be selling them on the open. So I don't know how much of an effect that'll have, but you would think there'll be sellers there and that getting unwound. So starting to move up here a little bit more, pushing it right up there. I wouldn't be surprised to see it take out this high. That's usually what happens before it reverses. So something to consider. You can see the crosshairs there as they come up to that 442. There's 442. It's a pretty big open interest there expiring today on SPY. So it should be a sticking point, but besides the prior high being right there. But I think this usually what happens is it comes up here and going into. I don't think this market would reverse in any significant way ahead of the 4th of July holiday, but I think after that is over, in the middle of next week, we'll see what patterns form in this area. We spoke about the shallow retracement earlier in the week and the potential for an M top. Got the end of a quarter. I wouldn't be surprised for a pattern like that to develop at this time. That being said, you see the prior high up here where that big open interest is. It's expiring today. It ain't going to get there today. I say that as if it's a fact, but we all know anything's possible. It just seems impossible for a market to rally that far in a day. From this bar that's already moving, and it's up near this high. So, but anyway, we'll see what develops here next week. But this is trending up, and the void won't be closed until it gets up there. Not that it has to get up there, but we'll see. Is there a pre-market review on Monday? Yes, markets open half a day on Monday. So Dan and I will be here. We'll probably leave at 12 o'clock. I think the market's open until 1, but we'll see. All right, still moving up here. So we're going to have to adjust SPX. So yesterday I mentioned the large open interest in the 440 calls. Those are expiring today. Congratulations, whoever had them. Nice windfall there. And there's a big open interest in the 4450s. So that's lined up with this prior high. That obviously should be a sticking point with the prior high there. Let me just go back to SPY for a second. It was in the middle of that bar. All right, so it's right in the middle of the red bar. And so in the middle of the red bar, getting above here, to 450, 4465 should be doable with this move up. Second here. Okay. 4465. So they're cranking there a dollar by a dollar and a. So we could probably, as they're going up there, can do 4470, which would probably happen not too much after the open. So that's just pushing up, and this 4450 should be a pretty good sticking point. Besides the prior high, it's above the prior high, and that open interest there. So down below, It's probably that premium is gone, which I had marked off at 33.80. You'd probably have to come up from there. 33.80 is 60 by 70. I wouldn't think it would get down there either, up there. You know, just typically the market isn't going to collapse, even though it's gapping up. You know, there's going to be sellers up here with a gap like that. And but to come all the way back down here, you know, probably could wait a bit on these, see if it does pull back. So what's happening besides that is that the outperformer is now underperforming. You can see where the Qs are in relation to that prior high. This led the way up. It's not unusual. This is at this prior resistance over there to the left. So it does make sense. And this kind of leads into, if this does start to reverse sharply next week, unless you've got a major move coming in the banks, odds are you're not going to see that prior high in SPX get hit in the near term anyway. Breath I'm sure, I would imagine, will push up above this area. And it'll be interesting to see what sentiment does. By the end of the day, we may get these lined up. And then looking into next week, by the middle of the week, if these are lined up and we get that M top, we have a pretty good scenario there for a short-term market high. We'll see what happens. You know, transports that's been the bullish sign leading the way up. And now, you know, they're going to be up at these prior highs. You know, the Russell is almost up at this prior high. So different indices coming up to reference points where there's going to be sellers. Good idea to exit some longs on the open if you got them. You know, Dow has got all of this resistance up here. We'll, you know, by the end of the day, we'll see, you know, what they do. Mid-cap futures, take a look. What's the symbol for them? I rarely ever look at them, Alex. I don't look at them, but mid-cap here, you know, this is gapping up. And you know, it's gapping up above the prior high. That is like a textbook scenario for a gap and reversal. You know, a move up from here, gapping up a prior high, above a prior high. You know, there is some resistance right here. You could see. I suspect, like with everything else, there'll be some selling probably, you know, by 10 o'clock, if not earlier. All right. What's the dollar doing with all this? Makes sense. Gapping down a little bit. It's at this prior high, which gold is going to be up a little bit. Not really doing much of anything. And a downtrend there. Should keep going lower. Silver is down. Yep, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock number. Thank you, Nazar. Remind me, I did see that this before. So at 9:45, Chicago PMI, and then consumer sentiment is at 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock is also Michigan 5-year inflation expectations, Michigan consumer expectations final, blah, 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 inflation expectations final. So 10 o'clock is a pretty reliable reversal time. From way back when I learned about reversal times in the market back in the late 80s. It was the late 80s, early 90s, by just printing out 5-minute charts every day and saying, hey, look what happens at the same time, around the same time each day, 10 o'clock, you know, 3:30, 2 o'clock, give or take. And those things have been consistent for all of those years. Oil is just dangling down here. coming off of the low, we spoke about that last week and this week in this trading range. It'll be interesting to see how much this comes off of the low. Bitcoin still moving up near a prior high. So, but a wide range bar. Yesterday, we spoke a little bit about multiple time frame patterns and what they should do. So what we would want to see, if you are in Bitcoin, is this move sideways a bit over here. I think this is the drawing thing. Kind of jiggle around a little bit, because going sideways, we call absorbing the supply, which is right here, right? Sellers, prior pivot high is resistance. That could open up the door to higher. So we'll see if that unfolds. Now there is a void down below, so we're not sure yet, but so far it's acting well, right? Going sideways at that resistance area. And what else can I look at it for you? That's really not doing much. Up, dollars down, so moving up a little bit there. But we'll see how today unfolds. Things gapping up here, so not a time to be putting on longs with gap ups, exiting, and we'll see how it unfolds and where things go. And by the end of the day, happy Friday. Where Dan comes on, we could just take a peek at, not that one. This one here. So, whatever's gapping up here, just taking a look at all of these ETFs. We'll see where these go. And you can see the underperformance, the Qs, tech, transports outperformed, and so on. So be interesting to see how this unfolds by the end of the day and into next week. I'll be talking to you Monday for those of you on social medias.
Good morning. Yeah, we had this NXPI posted yesterday. So it's gapping up here, dollar and change. We'll hold off. Yeah, Monday half day. I didn't know it was half until I heard Maria say it, and then I looked it up. All right, 1 second. I'm just posting this. A VTS alarm. This was a long of ours. But see, this one, it's fine. It's rested. It's one of these deep retracements, potent turn, created support at the 50 here and has a void. So as you know, we're going to be very selective on new trades. And we say that all the time, that even if I'm not trading the broader market, we find individual setups that are beautiful, like this yesterday. Look at this PPD, beautiful 1, 2, 3. And we bought Met into the close. I see that gapping up here a little bit. BitF with Bitcoin. I wanted to get us in core long on this hut here, and it just was a gap and go this day. But look at BitF. It's a sloppy little rectangle, but you got a 1, 2, 3 weekly, and you got a big old bottoming pattern monthly. This thing could double. It could go to $3. Why not? That'd be a double. So that's on my list. Raul APPS short. It must take out yesterday's low. It is a sell setup in reversal. These two bars are a power bounce. So I would not expect a new low. It's gapping up here with the market. But yeah, if it took out yesterday's low, sure. All right, the big earnings of the day, of the night. Nike last night, disappointed. You know, gapping down, but just in the middle of this range. We are heavily long in our letters, but we do have this as a short. I saw it gapping down earlier. And so Skechers, Nike, you know, that makes sense for that to gap down with it. We'll see where it opens though. It's not very liquid right now. But all of our longs are doing fine. I got alarms set as always. ACGL was one that I posted. See, this is a new trade setup. It's not up multiple bars. You know, I got a void. But, you know, these broader markets. Oh, Greg, I thought you said we were gapping in this prior high.
No doubt. That's where it was.
Well,
It was in the middle of the red bar, is what I showed.
yeah, because this high here, I'm just eyeballing, it's another $2 higher.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm switching over to my other computer, but it was right here in the middle of the red bar. I said it would likely go above the prior high.
Okay. All right, let's just look at my big interest list here. NXPI was a 1, 2, 3 from yesterday. Breakout, bullish weekly, monthly looks great. Let's watch that on a pullback. I'll put it in this window right here. JP Morgan had a nice day with banks rallying yesterday. I was hoping to get a 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's, you know, up again. Goldman here, nice day. And it could be a, you know, today's Friday, 0 DTE day for option sellers. It might be a put spread candidate. Goldman, I heard him saying on CNBC that they're pounding the table, telling their clients that the first 2 weeks of July are the best. So they're obviously shaking the tree to try to get more bulls out here. You know, I said in the nightly video last night, I thought that I was bullish today and Monday, at least until into the holiday. And I thought first target was the gap fill, which we're obviously gapping over right now. Apple, you know, CNBC coming out and they're just having their party. 3 million or 3 trillion market cap now. At the market open, all-time highs. Citi coming out and upgrading it. I don't know. I just shake my head when I see upgrades. It just like, why didn't you do it back here? Citi, CCL is another one getting an upgrade today. Why were you not in our green trading room where we were all over these cruise ships right here on this day is when we said to get in them. So that's where you should have given your upgrade. And it looks like they might want to, you know, get a gap up and sell into it. LRCX was a 1, 2, 3. I just had an alarm go off. I'm just not going to be as excited entering new positions, but keep these on the watch list. AAP, you know, potential big old double bottom. It's beat up. The problem is we don't have a potent reversal yet here on the right side of the W. And it's still a bearish weekly, monthly. But I got an alarm that, you know, that may turn. Contrast that with HIB. Another sporting good, just consolidation and a downtrend, just looks horrible. And so BidF, I just talked about. Extreme, I saw this thing going by the ticker. Extreme Network. This used to be a high flyer in the late 90s in the internet days. This was one of our, you know, go-tos in the broadband space. And it's been on a tear recently. So I don't know what to do with it now. Clean Spark broke out, massive multi-month trading range here. But, you know, you got a buy set up here, you got a bottoming on the monthly, that's worth watching. Schwab, I posted to try to sell some naked puts. Monster inverse head and shoulder bottoming pattern on the daily here. Now, a lot of these insurance companies and beat up things got some activity yesterday with the banks in the news. Fizzler, there's no turn yet, but it's in the area. It's down a lot. It's in the area. It's exceeded the gap fill. I just keep an eye on it. See how it closes. Race, CNBC is talking about all-time highs and that their valuation, this is Ferrari, their valuation has now exceeded Ford and GM, and they only make 13,000 cars a year. Top, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, look at that. And that's real. I remember that. This thing went to 260. I think this is one of these Chinese financial stocks of some sort, but yesterday got some attention. It's perking here again. You know, if we can get a nice day trade entry, it has legs. CHX. That's looks like it's, you know what? Let's just sell another third. We sold a third yesterday in the strength. Just sell another third right now, pre-market. I'm not going to even wait for a 5-minute low. Hold on, let me send our subscribers a telegram. See it checks. So 1/3 pre-market. This was another no-brainer setup we did yesterday. With this Wednesday's bottoming tail bar closing at the high.
Looking exercises for my shoulder.
Hey, Greg, you're a mic.
That's ready for okay. Yeah, I mean, I can do this. It's hard. Can't move very much, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yes.
Oh, you guys have to check on the camera.
Just posting this. Yeah, sorry, I'm just giving alerts to our subscribers here. That's what they rely on us for. That's why I have alarms going all the time. All right, so that looks great. AAP. We just talked about Moss. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I see one print up here, but that's a long watch. Bullish daily, weekly, monthly. MMC was a closing breakout. Little insurance brokerage stock. WST closing breakout. Below was a put spread idea, but there was no premium. Yes, I don't know about a directional. I mentioned all these oil ETFs yesterday. Being TPX looks great, big old bottoming pattern. Oh, we're actually in the we bought calls into the close yesterday. SPG closing breakout, that looks great. It's up here, $1.50, so need a pullback. WDC housing's been on fire. This was a beautiful new trade on Tuesday. Triple G, nothing yet, but worth it and worth watching. Here's a bullish turn, deep retracement, and that'd be a great put spread idea if there's any juice. AOS bullish daily, weekly, monthly, but far from the 20. I'll watch it next week for a pullback. Interactive broker closing breakout looks higher, 85, 86. I don't see any gap. I see trades like this. I just love when I get a 1, 2, 3. inside bar here and then go. Because, 1, 2, 3, I tell people is 26 bullish 15-minute candlesticks. So if you think of it that way, it's, bullish resting after a big marathon day. D-dog, no pattern, but little buy setup bull flag on the weekly. TTD was a breakout. SYM, I was watching that to sell puts. Block gapping up. We're in this in the ETF letter. Look at the beautiful daily, weekly, monthly. So that monthly has a lot of room. So we are enjoying that. ARC F, I'm watching for an entry. I love the monthly on that too. ISRG broke out 2 days ago. Baxter was on my list, but no more. PPG, we're in already. LDOS, just grinding its way up higher, but up 4 bars. I'm surely not doing anything with it now. Same HSIC, just grinding. Roku, we have a put spread. Ugly bar yesterday, so I like today's gap, of course. ICE, I just had an up alarm, but we entered this as a core. If it were a swing, I would say sell half, but we're trading this one for the long haul. So I'm just going to reset alarms. That's all. All right, I got a lot of alarms going off now. Our TPX looks great. I'll set a new alarm. Let's at least move stop break even on TPX. And Schwab. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me, Alex, about adding is it's up a lot and it's just the broader market, could be a short-term exhaustion gap. So I'm patient on new ones. Wow, this SSNC, we entered this along with Sam I Am for a core long, Wolf up alarm. Let's see if we can leg into a covered call on this. Yeah, I'm going to be busy here with alarms for a bit. I'm more concentrated on managing our opens. SSNC. They're too darn spready. But let's move our stop 59.11. Oh, I did not mark this as a core. My bad. So let's sell another third then. Actually, I moved stop yesterday's low. 59.98. Intuit up alarm, but